The year is 2030. The US government is obsolete. We all live in a nightmarish dystopia ruled by a few corporations with a fringe and ridiculous ideology. You go to the grocery store. You decide to buy some milk, bread, and eggs. As you get to the checkout counter, you pull out your tap card or phone or whatever, and you tap the device with a smile on your face, and the cashier looks at you smiling when you hear a bam bam. Shocked, she looks to the machine. What does it say? I'm sorry, your card has been declined. You're in violation of the terms of service. See, at some point you were having a conversation with someone within earshot of an Amazon device that you can talk to, and they accidentally overheard you say something negative about a certain group of people. I'm sorry, you've now been banned from this financial service. That's the future we're looking at. I know it sounds silly, but at least there is a visible path to this future. In fact, many people have already been banned from financial services for saying naughty words. And now we have the story from Fast Company. Silicon Valley is building a Chinese-style social credit system. Well, I do want to point out that a lot of people have overhyped the Chinese social credit system. My understanding is that it's being trialed and it's not fully implemented. A lot of people are acting like literally everyone in China is living in the system, and that's not true. I could be wrong, it's just what I've heard. But we do have something being built just like this. The reason why I said the government is obsolete is that most of our social functions are happening through private companies, the internet, the economy. A lot of people have jobs that are based on the internet. Case in point, me. I make a living doing this. I do not want to live in a future where the people have no say and no way to stop massive multinational corporations with no allegiance to the people. The government is made up by the people, and it can grow corrupt and too powerful. It needs checks and balances. Private corporations need to be able to operate to compete and eventually create, better and better services and technologies and devices. However, we're looking at the increasing centralization of this tech power, and eventually, due to natural trends in human behavior and things, these companies are trending towards complete authoritarianism, and if no one can speak, there won't be an election. What does it matter if you can vote if no one knows who to vote for or why, because Google has banned everyone on one side of the debate? And that's where we're going. So for those of you that don't care, I hope you're looking forward to your future where one day you can't buy anything from a grocery store. Or when all the cars are automated, your car won't turn on because you've been banned from the TOS, by the TOS. You've been banned from the company. The other important thing to remember is your phone, you don't own the software on that phone. You license it. And if you violate terms of service, they could just brick your phone and say, hey, the device is yours, but not the software. Well, let's read this story from Fast Company. Before we do, head over to timcast.com/donate if you would like to support my work. There's a PayPal option, a crypto option, a physical address. The best thing you can do, just share this video so we can, break through the barrier. YouTube is de-ranking my content, and it's kind of funny because now I'm railing on them, and yeah, they don't like it. But let's read. Fast Company writes, have you heard about China's social credit system? It's a technology-enabled surveillance-based nationwide program designed to nudge citizens toward better behavior. The ultimate goal is to allow the trustworthy to roam everywhere under heaven while making it hard for the discredited to take a single step, according to the Chinese government. In place since 2014, the social credit system is a work in progress that could evolve by next year into a single nationwide point system for all Chinese citizens, akin to a financial credit score. It aims to punish for transgressions that can include membership in or support for the Falun Gong or Tibetan Buddhism, failure to pay debts, excessive video gaming, criticizing the government. Oh, great. Late payments, failing to sweep the sidewalk in front of your store or house, smoking or playing loud music on trains, jaywalking, and other actions deemed illegal or unacceptable by the Chinese government. And of course, it will only get increasingly restrictive from there. We have social norms now, but through this system, there will develop newer social norms, and everyone will be panicked all the time. No chewing gum, it's not worth it. Hey, in Singapore, you can't. I'm pretty sure gum is illegal in Singapore because they don't want people spitting it. It's like littering in Singapore is a crime, and also not flushing the toilet. Seriously. They say it can also award points for charitable donations or even taking one's own parents to the doctor. Punishments can be harsh, including bans on leaving the country, using public transport. We get it. Come on, Fast Company, do better. But let's read on. I want to hear about what's going on with Silicon Valley. They say, many Westerners are disturbed by what they read about China's social credit system. But such systems, it turns out, are not unique to China. A parallel system is developing in the US, in part as the result of Silicon Valley and technology industry user policies, and in part by surveillance of social media activity by private companies. Here are some of the elements of America's growing social credit system. Insurance companies. The New York State Department of Financial Services announced earlier this year that life insurance companies can base premiums on what they find in your social media posts. That Instagram pic showing you teasing a grizzly bear at Yellowstone with a martini in one hand and a bucket of cheese fries in the other, and a cigarette in your mouth could cost you. On the other hand, a Facebook post showing you doing yoga might save you money. They say insurance companies have to demonstrate that social media evidence points to risk and not be based on discrimination of any kind. They can't use social posts to alter premiums based on race or disability, for example. The use of social media as an extension of the lifestyle questions typically asked when applying for life insurance, such as questions about whether you engage in rock climbing or other adventure sports. Saying no, but then posting pictures of yourself free soloing El Capitan could count as a yes. Patron Scan. A company called Patron Scan sells 3 products, kiosk, desktop, and handheld systems, designed to help bar and restaurant owners manage customers. Patron Scan is a subsidiary of the Canadian software company Serval Biometrics, and its products are now on sale in the US, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom. They say it helps spot fake IDs and troublemakers. When customers arrive at Patron Scan using bar, their ID is scanned. The company maintains a list of objectionable customers designed to protect venues from people previously removed for fighting, assault, drugs, theft, and other bad behavior. According to its website, a public list is shared among all Patron Scan customers. This is the most terrifying thing I've read yet. What, really? So someone who's banned by one bar in the US is potentially banned by all bars in the US. Look, you might say it's only 1% of bars with Patron Scan, but what happens when they have a similar system in the future? What happens when Facebook rolls out something similar, trying to compete with the market? And then you go to a bar and they say, ooh, we saw that you got kicked out of a bar, last month. Sorry, you can't come in. What happens when a bar uses a software that somehow recognizes you and they say, look, we have no problem with you, but you were banned by Facebook for making a nasty post, and we use payment processing systems, Libra, in order to sell beer, and they won't allow us to serve you. You're free to stand here, but we can't do anything, I'm sorry. That's the future we're walking into. They say Uber and Airbnb. Thanks to the sharing economy, the options for travel have been extended far beyond taxis and hotels. Uber and Airbnb are leaders. We get it. Does Fast Company really need to define what Airbnb is? Come on. They say Airbnb can disable your account for life for any reason it chooses, and it reserves the right to tell you that to not tell you the reason. The company canned messages include the assertion that this decision is irreversible and will affect any duplicated or future accounts. Please understand that we are not obligated to provide an explanation for the action taken against your account. The ban can be based on something the host privately tells Airbnb about something they believe you did while staying at their property. Airbnb's competitors have similar policies. I actually totally deleted my Airbnb account when I was staying at a place. The person who owned the place sent a bunch of ridiculous lies and demanded that I send them like $1,000 over PayPal. And then when I refused, saying this is a lie, it's a shakedown, Airbnb tried to charge me personally for it. They tried charging me without my consent. Fortunately for me, the card I had on file was already, expired. But then I was just like, dude, I do not want to enter into a system like this. I've also had an Uber where I was at the airport and I called it. I see the car on the map and then the car leaves and I have no idea what happened. And then it drove a little ways and then the trip ended and it charged me $12. I was like, what? I didn't even get in the car and I have no idea why. There are problems with unaccountable technological systems like this. Outside of everything you know about the social credit system, right? Let's point out the fact that there's no recourse because there's no one to talk to. You try telling the robot, hey, this was a mistake, and the robot says denied. You can talk to a human and explain in great detail why they were wrong to ban you, and maybe they'll listen. But they don't have humans at these companies. Facebook bans you based on an algorithm. So does Twitter and so does YouTube. People have been removed from the YouTube partner program because of an algorithm. Their revenue, their income stripped. And they don't know why. And YouTube says, we can't tell you why. And then what? This is the world being built if we don't do something about it. A social credit system is growing all around us, whether or not it's on purpose. We are doing it. Something needs to be done. And, at least they're talking about it. But they say, if current trends hold, it's possible that in the future, a majority of misdemeanors and even some felonies will be punished not by Washington, D.C., but Silicon Valley. It's a slippery slope away from democracy and toward corporatocracy. In other words, in the future, law enforcement may be determined less by the Constitution and legal code and more by end-user license agreements. Did you know you can be in a car speeding? A camera will take a picture, and they won't give you a criminal charge. They'll just fine you, saying, here's a photo of your car doing this. We can't prove it was you personally, but we can fine your license plate. And that's apparently legal. And you can say that wasn't me and say, doesn't matter. It's not a criminal charge. Pay the fine or else. We'll put a boot on your car. Anyway, there are a lot of people on the left and the right who want this future. There are people on the right who say we shouldn't interfere in a private business. And there are people on the left, for some reason, saying, but I'm a private company. Well, I hope you're all ready for it, because it's the future we deserve unless we do something. I can't tell you what to do, but at least something has to change. Anyway, stick around. I got a couple more segments coming up for you in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.